Okay, let's talk about an appliance that most of us completely ignore. That is, until it fails, usually in the most spectacular way possible. Yep, I'm talking about your water heater. And this is your survival guide, especially if you happen to be a homeowner down in Southwest Florida. You know the scene, right? We've all been there. You step into the shower, you're expecting that nice, warm, relaxing start to your day, and bam! You get hit with a blast of Arctic cold water. It's way more than just an inconvenience. It's a huge sign that one of your home's most important systems is probably in big trouble. And that really brings us to a super important point. Your water heater, it's kind of the unsung hero of your entire house. It just works tirelessly, completely behind the scenes, and its health has a way bigger impact on your daily life than you probably even realize. When you really think about it, this impact breaks down into four main areas. First, of course, is just your daily comfort, hot showers, doing laundry, getting the dishes clean. But it's also about energy efficiency. An old, clunky unit can make your power bills skyrocket. A good modern heater actually adds to your home value. And maybe most importantly, there's health and safety, preventing those nasty leaks that lead to expensive water damage and even mold. So how can you tell when this unsung hero is about to throw in the towel? Well, the good news is you don't have to wait for that icy wake-up call. There are some really clear danger signs you can look for, and in this next part, we're going to learn exactly how to spot them. First up, let's talk age. It is the #1 indicator, hands down. If you've got one of those conventional tank water heaters and it's over 10 years old, you're pretty much living on borrowed time. The risk of it failing goes up dramatically after that first decade. Okay, so beyond its age, here are the other big red flags. Are you seeing rusty water coming out of the hot tap? That's a classic sign of corrosion on the inside. What about strange noises, like a popping or rumbling sound? That's probably sediment that's built up in the tank, and it's forcing the heater to work way too hard. And, of course, the most obvious signs of all, water that just won't stay hot, or, you guessed it, any visible leaks around the bottom of the tank. But hey, it is not all doom and gloom. We can actually get ahead of this stuff. We can switch from just reacting to problems to being proactive. And with just a little bit of attention, you can seriously extend your water heater's life. So here's the big question, right? What can you actually do? How do you squeeze more years of reliable service out of this thing and avoid those frantic, expensive emergency calls? Well, the answer is all about a few key maintenance habits. Here are the big ones. Flushing the tank once a year gets rid of all that sediment we just talked about, which really improves its efficiency. Next, setting your thermostat to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, that's the real sweet spot for both safety and energy savings. And finally, scheduling a professional to come inspect it and, this is crucial, check the anode rod. That can catch problems long before they turn into total catastrophes. Now you're probably asking, what in the world is an anode rod? Well, think of it like a bodyguard for your water heater. Seriously, it's this sacrificial metal rod that's designed to attract all the corrosive gunk in the water. It basically rusts away on purpose so that the actual steel tank doesn't have to. It's a tiny part that plays a massive, massive role. So, if there's one thing to take away from this, it's this. If you want your water heater to last, you can't just set it and forget it. That little bit of annual maintenance is absolutely the key to its longevity. But, eventually, every single appliance reaches the end of its life. It's just inevitable. So, when that day finally comes, what are your options? Let's break down how to choose your next water heater. Okay, so the two main players on the field are conventional tank heaters and the newer tankless models. And there are some really clear trade-offs. On one hand, tank heaters are way more budget-friendly up front, and they store a big batch of hot water. On the other hand, tankless heaters heat water on demand, as you need it. That means they're super energy efficient and give you a practically endless supply, but they do cost more to install initially. Now, for Southwest Florida in particular, a brand like A.O. Smith comes highly recommended. And why is that? It's because their conventional tank heaters just hit that perfect sweet spot between being durable, efficient, and affordable, which really is an ideal fit for a lot of homes in that area. And one of the most important things you should be looking for is a really solid warranty. Something like a 6-year warranty isn't just a piece of paper. It's a promise. It's peace of mind. Just knowing that your investment is actually protected. All right, so you've spotted the warning signs, you've picked out your new heater, but hold on, we are not done yet. The final step, the installation, is arguably the most critical part of this whole thing. And trust me, this is not a DIY job. Getting a professional installation just ensures everything is done right from the start. They'll make sure the unit is the perfect size for your family's needs. They'll handle the electrical and gas hookups safely, which is totally non-negotiable. They also make sure all the work is up to local building codes, and they'll even haul away and dispose of your old unit the right way. So, we'll wrap up with this one question for you to think about. After everything we've just gone over, take a second to think about your own home. Is your hardest working, most overlooked appliance trying to send you a warning sign? Is it quietly getting ready for retirement? The good news is, now you know exactly what to look for and what to do about it.